Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today for Viscosity's Masterclass Series Expert Panel. My name is Monica Lee, and I'll be moderating today's discussion on Oracle Database with focus on Oracle Database 19c Business Solutions. Real quick, if you're not familiar with the company I work for, Viscosity, we're a full Oracle Stack consulting firm, and we are a system integrator specializing in Oracle Database, Oracle Apex, Cloud, and Engineered Systems. And today we're going to kick off our renewed Masterclass series with our All-Star cast. Let's go ahead and meet them. I think this is a great question for Maria and Rich. Is it better to have separate databases for different data types, like Mongo for documents, or a converged database like Oracle?
All right, well, I guess I can start us off on this one. And I think for most folks at first glance, those single purpose databases appear to be a good option, right? Because the developers are going to get everything they want to quickly get going on that new project. However, as that project continues, I think you start to see some cracks in that idea, because oftentimes the business requirements are going to change mid-project, and then you'll realize the limitations of that single purpose database. Mainly because they don't support perhaps an additional data type or data model that you're going to need. They may not support the analytical type queries that you may need later on as that project evolves. So I think when you kind of step back and you look at the bigger picture, those single purpose databases aren't such a good idea. And being able to use something like a converged database that'll support all data types, all data models, and allow you to have a multi-tenant environment, you'll actually find that in the long run, it's going to be much simpler. Otherwise, a lot of integration falls in the lap of the app developer, because you're going to end up having to do the plumbing to keep all of these single purpose databases in sync and sharing data because of those limitations where they've specialized in one area, making it very easy APIs, easy to get started with, but then I think longer term it can be seriously problematic because of those integration issues. But Rich, you're out there in the real world. What do you think?
In the real world, I mean, there's all kinds of different datas, and the biggest cost is moving data around and managing data, managing 5 different types of databases and having the staff to do that. I mean, there's JSON data, there's document data, there's transactional data, analytical data, spatial graph files, key value data, and guess what? Oracle manages all of them, and they manage all of them spectacularly. And you put it on something like Exadata, and it's really, really, really fast. Some of these databases, came out a few years back because Wall Street backed them, and they have a couple of security options of Oracle, and they say we have security just like Oracle. Well, they don't. They don't have 40 years of security and managing most governments on the planet Earth. I go back to Mongo in 2017. There was something called the DB apocalypse. You ought to look at the Mongo apocalypse, where 28,000 server problems with ransom attacks happened, and they happened for years. You need to go to Hadoop to see something. Go through the secure portal of Oracle. Use Big Data SQL. And then use something like external tables. You could partition those. Now you can partition Hadoop. You can put it in memory and things like that. Converged database is really the only solution, and this should be Oracle's finest hour.